Alright, folks, and welcome back to the channel. I mean, I can't even believe what is about to come out my mouth. If you were to tell me back when we won the treble under Ange, that Jota would leave the club for £25 million, a record fee, go to Saudi Arabia. Brendan Rodgers, Ange would leave as well. Brendan Rodgers would come back. And then over a year down the line, Kyogo's now left and Jota's come back. I mean, Alistair, it's just I've never ever seen a piece of business, and I'll give credit to the club. It is a tremendous piece of business. If you're looking at Alistair here, we have 18 months Jota was away, roughly.
Yeah. Well, you look at we've made £18 million profit. Ryan118 said this earlier, so thanks Ryan. I'm going to use this. 18 months, £1 million of profit for all the months he's been away.
It's a tremendous piece of business.
Easy.
I mean, it has been a wild last kind of 2 years at Celtic. Obviously we've been confirmed that we've just sold a star striker of that period as well. But Alistair, I mean, I still don't think it's real. I don't.
No, it's no kind of. When I seen Kyogo on in the RENNES jersey, it just I kind of wanted to flop, to be honest with you. It just didn't seem real to me.
It's like it's not right seeing Kyogo in the RENNES jersey. You're like, well, it's not right seeing Jota back in a Celtic jersey. It's brilliant, but it just doesn't. You're like, you were only here 18 months ago. Now, obviously, look at a player like Kieran Tierney been linked with. It'll look a bit more normal because of how he's been away for. He's went down to Arsenal and he's been away for about 5 years, 6
Correct me if
years.
I'm wrong, but Kieran Tierney's last Celtic manager was Neil Lennon.
Aye, so it was about 6 years ago.
Aye, so you're talking. So, and Kieran Tierney's 27. So, Kieran Tierney left when he was 22.
Because realistically, Jota only left a season ago.
Aye.
You're looking at
it. It's
just mental, and I always thought there was a chance that Jota would come back. I genuinely, I didn't think it was as quick as this, because this has been, really quick. But I'm absolutely buzzing with it. To be honest, it's a brilliant signing. Obviously, we're looking for the winger position. It ticks that off. Job, I'm going to maybe come across a bit torn face here. Job's far from done in this window, but we'll go into that later on. But for the now, Jota in the building, a 5-year contract as well, Alistair.
5.5.
5.5, is it?
Yeah. Same as
so, Jota obviously, and I think it's important. I think we're all getting excited now as well, but I think it's also important as it's got to take time for Jota, because we looked before we started recording. He's only played about 1,800 minutes in the last 2 years. I think I listened to his kind of press conference before I come on. I think he really regrets that Saudi move. Yeah. Maybe not financially, because I think financially it helped him. By the way, I've get fucked with a cold, so that's why I fucking said. But
yeah,
anyway,
you sound like fucking City Odessa's trying to score a goal.
No, but I think he really does regret that in terms of football, because I think I just don't. I never thought at the time it was a great move for his career, because that league over there's shite. It
had to go because
the cash obviously.
He would have even us, Josh, and we're Celtic diehards. We would have went for that.
I don't grudge him for going, because I think he was on 150 grand a week or something I heard.
At least.
And that's what top players down England get. So don't grudge him. Obviously got us a good fee. But the standard of football in that league's horrendous. Like, it generally is. It's just a Ronaldo PR league, I've always called it. I just think it's horrendous. It's even worse, I'd say, than MLS personally, and that's pretty bad. I mean, but it's just good to have him back. Obviously, went to Rennes after actually scored on his debut, but then was frozen out again. He's not had a good 2 years, and I think he kind of mentioned that. He kind of says, I always wanted to come back, and I feel a place where I'm being loved, and that's what I think. I think the last two moves for him have not been beneficial at all for his career.
The thing is, John, I'll say this. Jota is a bona fide Celtic player. And by that I mean we're a winger club, as in we've always had
It
a
gets you
player
off your seat.
get us off our seat. I think that was the word I was looking for. And with all due respect to the French and the Saudi League, I don't think either of them was a good fit. Premier League, I would get, because I
Aye.
was really shocked that Jota never got a Premier League move, to be honest with you, because that's how good he was in his first spell. But the thing is, I'm going to say this. You could have Jota, Tierney, two players that we've sold for a combined 50 million, and we're getting for 8 million quid.
Aye.
I mean,
Um,
that's the best deal Celtic will ever do.
no, I don't doubt that.
In my opinion.
Jota will give 100%. I just think it's at times I'm going to maybe be a bit need to be patient.
Yeah,
Just to get something to match sharpness. I don't.
let's
I
be
think.
honest, we're bringing him in for next year.
And people are going to sit there, and fans of other clubs are going to sit there and say, "Oh, he's passion." Some of our fans are going to sit and say, "Is he going to be the same?" Well, and I've heard fans saying, "Is he going to be the same?" But the way I
It's
look
not
at it is,
going to be
Alistair,
that long.
the way I look at it is, Alistair, take out Maida and Kuhn. Is it any worse than what we've got now?
Yeah, it's certainly an improvement in Parma and Yang.
No, I mean I could be an improvement in it too.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you could be an improvement. Fuck's sake. So that's what I would say to that argument is is it is it a bad move? I mean, we sold Kyogo for £10 million. He's not a striker, and I still think, I think we need to be focusing on that striker. That should be a number one priority. But we've still got to make a profit. That's what the Celtic board love, that word, profit, and we are still going to make a profit. So there's absolutely no brainer for
yeah,
me.
yeah,
But I'm just buzzing to see him back. He is just he really does love the club. I know people say
yeah.
it a
You
lot,
can
and
tell. You can tell. I know it's a cliche, but you can tell he loves the club. And to be honest, he could have stuck it out and said, "No, I don't." It would have been easy for him to say, "No, I've done that. I've done that with Celtic. I don't want to do it again." But he never. He come back. Because let's be honest, Jota didn't need to come back.
no, he won everything up here really. So
He didn't need to. So he must enjoyed it. So and let's hope we can enjoy it again.
no,
But it's a shame we're nowhere near done. So
aye, well, we may as well go into some of the other news. Just to end off, I'm absolutely just buzzing that he's obviously Jota's back.
definitely.
Arsenal, the other news of today is that apparently we are expected to approach Arsenal to discuss a possible loan deal for Kieran Tierney. Arsenal have yet to make a decision with Zinchenko also attracting interest, as I said all day, because Dortmund are looking at him apparently. Fucking hell. But the emergence of
No.
Miles.
should explain that Josh likes Arsenal and Dortmund, so he's a wee bit, and he's never really rated Zinchenko, so he's a bit pissed
I know.
off.
I do. I generally think Tierney's a better player than Zinchenko, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. But the emergence of Miles Lewis-Skelly could allow for both to leave. I mean, that was Anthony Joseph. He put that up kind of next to the Jota when Jota was announced, and I mean, I don't know where I stand on this one now, because it seems that Celtic are kind of dragging their feet on this a bit, because I don't know if you remember this, when we get beat off Rangers at New Year, it came out straight away. Romano, Tierney's coming, and you're like, is it going to be a loan? Then he updated midway through saying Tierney was still coming, but then he tell us if it was a loan deal. I think it was just after the Dundee, when we drew against Dundee, which I find very
It's
poetic.
every time we got a bad result. Tierney's coming.
Aye. Peter Lawwell's like, oh shit, we'll get a bad result. Just fucking leak something.
Tierney, aye.
No, I mean, I don't know where I stand on this, because, you know, I do think Tierney will be a Celtic player at some point in this year.
Let me be honest. I think if you were to give the vast majority of Celtic fans, and I don't claim to speak for all of them, but I would say the vast majority would rather we get the striker sorted.
Oh no, definitely no.
Because
Matt,
Tierney's coming in the summer. So.
I mean, he is coming in the summer. I mean, it is going to depend on those two factors. Zinchenko, if he leaves, I think if he stays, there's a possibility. Dortmund, who are interested and have sacked their manager, so I don't know if they will go with the same recruitment strategy, if there even was one to begin with. But obviously, Miles Lewis-Skelly, he's come out of the team. He's been a Arsenal starting left back for ages. Calafiori's obviously there as well. You know, obviously Skelly gets sent off at the weekend. I don't know how. So I don't. That could hamper it as well. I don't know if they'll get it rescinded.
But I think they will.
So I mean, I think the Tierney one, if we could get him on loan, I think it'd be good. But at least we probably know he is coming in the summer. I've noticed as well the last kind of few games, Arteta's making more of a kind of
almost try to convince him
to stay at the end of the season, I think, because he's making it like the picture I'm looking at now. It was after the Wolves game, and they're cuddling, and he's, you know, and at the point, you know, Tierney wasn't it like they weren't. I don't think they weren't getting on. He just wasn't getting game time, which I still find baffling, to be honest. Because as I said, I think he is, when he's fit, he's better than Zinchenko. I've just
probably Arsenal's best starting left back when he's fit.
At the moment, I would say. And people obviously jump to the conclusion, oh, he's just been a former Rangers man. Like to say, I don't believe that sort of stuff.
No, because why would they apply for the job? Which I believe is common knowledge.
No, I don't believe that sort of stuff. I just think Tierney's injuries has ruined his career. I'm going to be honest with you and say that, and it's a real shame.
Let's be honest, that's the only reason he's coming back.
And I know it's horrible to say that, but it's the truth. Look at doing well for Scotland. He gets injured in the Euros. It's a horror injury. You know, when he was doing well at Sociedad, when he went on loan, he got injured again. You know, I do really feel sorry for him, because he would be a solid Premier League left back if the injuries weren't there. But Alistair, I mean, it's one that Scott will probably need to just go at the last minute way and just keep a watch on it, because.
Yeah, well, if you think about it, Josh, if we don't get a loan, he could sign a pre-contract at any time.
Aye. I do think I think the pre-contract's
already been done.
I think the pre-contract, I don't think there's any doubts about that. I think no doubt is
something before we move on to Tierney. If Valley goes, it's done.
Oh, he's coming in. He's coming in.
If Valley goes, he's coming in. If Valley stays, we'll get him in the summer.
Aye, obviously.
That's absolute certainty.
Como was always interesting in value, but I think it's Barca need to wait on Celtic side and probably try to get Tierney before they can terminate the loan, and then Vai's got Como. I mean, Alistair, I'm going to end on the most important position at this moment in time. I do think it's now turned into the most important window.
It's turning into a circus,
Aye, position
be
of the
honest.
window, and it is turning a bit circusy. Obviously, Kyogo's left, and I don't know if Kyogo's want to leave or he was. I don't really, but
We'll never
no matter,
really know.
aye, no matter what the reason is, Celtic have got a massive job in their hands. We're recording this on the 27th, so you've got 6
A
days.
week, a week,
A week Monday, so there you go. A week Monday, nice and
a
easy.
week a day. This
Aye.
time next week's deadline day.
And if we are, I said it. I said as soon as Kyogo left the club, we have got a massive job on our hands to replace a striker who he's not been wasn't really fired this season, but he's been an integral part of what we have done over these last 3 years. Him and Jota, I felt it. I did find it interesting. He was asked about Kyogo. I would have loved to see they two because they struck up a brilliant partnership. But I'm willing to move. I'm willing to move on for Kyogo, right? But as long as there's someone else in there. Now,
Yakamagan.
but that's that's the only proper thing I'm holding on to is, well, we always talk about the Jota, Carter Vickers and Giacomakis. I'm hoping we get a striker in on deadline day. And see, to be honest with you, I've been pretty certain. For me, it's Garden. But even if we can't get Garden, we need to get a centre forward in of quality. Louis Barry's gone now. We can't get him. He's away at Hull.
Yeah, well, I believe that's only because Villa did not want to sell him under any circumstance.
I wasn't a big fan.
I don't get anyway.
To be fair, I wasn't a big fan of Barry.
We've not seen much of him. To be
I just
fair.
think it's. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not a big fan of shopping down south.
You're not a big fan of the Championship either.
Because and I think we've seen this at Rangers, where you go down and you maybe sign a Kieran Dowell, Ben Davis, somebody like that, pay them extortionate wages, and you can't get rid of them. And I'm no interested. Celtic have got a good wage structure, really good wage structure. I'll give them that. Sometimes I do think it's a wee bit outdated, but it does well. So if a player's shite, so say we offered, for instance, right? Say O came from the Championship, and we had to offer him.
Well, I'll give you a better example. Bio at Watford. Look at the money he's getting down south. We know how bang average he was.
And that's the thing. I think that's the thing. People got to say, well, you want to sign Tierney. Tierney's different, right? Tierney's contract's out, and he knows he's going to have to get a wage cut. But I'm looking at players and going like that. If you sign Louis, I'm not doubting he's a good player. He would probably do a job up here. But my fear is if he didn't do a job up here, I think this would be the board's fear. Is that you can see a smaller club come in, they'll go, Louis Barry would probably go, but no, I'm not going. Like, you seen it with Rangers this week with Matondo. He's like, nah, I don't need to go because I'm sitting on
Coventry. I'm sitting on a contract.
Aye, I'm sitting on X amount a week, and it's probably got because they have overpaid and they're paying the price Rangers for it at the moment, and I don't. That's why I'm never a big fan because I do think players are overpriced, majorly overpriced for a league that isn't that great. English fans will tell you it's this and it's that. It's pish.
It's a long ball.
It's long ball. It's boring. It's just pish. Now, I'm not saying the Scottish League's fucking the best league in the world, man. But they make out that Championship's like it's utter pish.
Well, let me give you an example. Remember there was Sims, the boy Sims that was at Hearts.
Aye.
He got a £7 million move to Coventry City. Coventry City. And you're like, Like, I think he was at Sunderland on loan.
And don't get me wrong, I think he's a decent player. That's I think he's done a decent job up here.
But come on, £7 million.
Aye, but what I'm saying is, I didn't want us to go in and. No, I know I was going to sound hypocritical here, right? I don't want to go and spend 10 million on Louis Barry, but I wanted to go and spend 10 million in Krivitsgarden. But Louis Barry, like, is one of these.
It's unproven.
He's unproven. No offense to Stockport. You know, no offense, but see if he had starts for Villa, I'd be like, right, maybe he scored the odd 3 goals for Villa and he's had a few starts and he's looked decent. I'd put right, maybe. But you know, he done well at Stockport, fair enough to him. So I'm kind of glad that he's gone to Hull. And
Yeah,
you know,
who knows if he does well at Hull?
that's what I was going to say.
Let's just say we won't revisit it in the summer.
But I do think it's.
But it's a lot to ask to replace Kyogo for the Hassy with a 21-year-old.
A 21-year-old who's kind of had a stop-start his career. The reason, the big reason I like Krivitsgarden is because he's in form just now. He's red hot just now. He's in form at the moment. Louis Barry was in, but you know, Louis Barry's was recalled from loan, and you know, that's just a bit messy nonsense. You don't know what to be dealing with. Then we obviously had the links with the striker at Newcastle. Alistair, I'm at the point now where I don't know who will sign.
No, and to be fair, I don't think the papers know.
Nah.
I think they're just putting two and two together. But
you know,
if you were to give me a free bet, Josh, I'd probably say there's a fair chance it might be Krivitsgarden, but do I expect it? The longer it goes, the less convinced I'm getting.
And you know, there's been a lot of mention about loans, and there's been a lot of mention about loans and how, but I just think you're kicking the can down the road. Well, loan, because unless you can get an option to buy, which I think after what happened with Ida, I think it's massive importance for us to get a buy option on a striker.
Well, if you remember last year, me, you, and Nathan done a podcast, and I done my dinger, basically saying why is there no one option to buy, and I was proven right, Josh, and it's not me being a smarter, because I did call it out at the time. I would make it compulsory. If we get a loan, and that goes for any player, there needs to be an option to buy, otherwise what's the point?
An option to buy that's feasible. It can't be an 11-12 million pound option to buy because we made that mistake with Ida. No matter if Ida's been no great this season or he's been brilliant, Ida could have banged in 20 goals and I'd still probably say we've still overpaid because we did, but that was a club's.
Even if Ida was on form, you still need another striker because you've only got one.
And that's the thing I was going to say as well. We are realistically need to go in a market for our number one striker.
In January.
And we're on the 27th. They knew that if I'm just going off what I hear on what Brendan Rodgers is saying, I'm not going to. I've got other opinions that I'm not really sure what's going to happen. I don't know. I'm not getting the inside knowledge at Celtic, but I'm only going what I hear at Brendan Rodgers. He said that this was been going on for months. But Kyogo wanted to leave. See, as soon as the Kyogo switched agents, they should have went like that. Like me and you did. Right, wait a minute here. We might need to start looking at players. Now, if you're telling me for 6 months that they have just looked for one player in Krivitsgarden, that's that. And I'm hoping that's not the case.
One basket kind of thing.
And I'm hoping this isn't the case because I'm hoping Celtic, I'm trying to convince myself our recruitment has hopefully moved on. I think it's moved on in terms of we're not just trying to sign these daft projects anymore.
Yeah.
We're trying to sign players like Rennes, like Ida, like obviously Jota coming back, Tierney, players like that who are quality additions, who will come into the squad and they will do a job. Now, obviously, we're going to sign projects That's the selling model.
Yeah,
But
you're
there's
not going to
projects with
sign
quality.
every player at a premium. But
Aye.
what we do want is maybe say in a calendar year, and by that I mean a season, whether it be in January or the summer, we want one or two looking angles, a Reece Gardner if it comes off. That's what we want our club to be, and that's what it needs to be in.
I said at the start of the January window, I said that if Celtic in January can sign 2 quality players, at this point it was at left back and winger position. Now it's changed for me. It's striker, left back, no, striker, winger, sorry, because
Yeah.
of obviously what's happened. But it still stays the same. We signed 2 quality players in January if you can get them. I know I'm no silly. Obviously it's a difficult window. But it doesn't look, it's no filling me with confidence when we're in the same situation we were last year because we needed a striker last year because
Yeah.
O was surplus to requirements. And then obviously Ida come in. So we're kind of in the same
By the way,
situation.
the last January is quite scary actually.
I think in terms of we're in a better place at the moment, I think the move because last January we were just like, God, we need to sign players, sign players, sign players.
We need to push it along.
Aye, and hope it sticks. But I think we're still in that position where we need Jota's one of them. There's a bit of quality, but we need one more, and
Yeah.
that's a striker for me. A good quality striker who can hit the ground running, and they're out there. And I'm hoping to God, please Celtic, have a list and just I need to see something come in the next few days because
And I'll say this to you. Don't expect Rodgers to comment at tomorrow's press conference.
no, so just to say the same sentence.
I don't think he'll comment on the next on
Aye.
transfer details before a, a, an Aston Villa Champions League big game. I don't think he'll. He
Aye.
may
And it,
comment after it. He won't comment before that.
And even if he did ask you, we'd just give you the same answer because he said that this is what it's interesting because Brendan Rodgers said, "I want a striker." So
Yeah.
the transfer window shuts on Tuesday.
No.
Will shut on Monday. Well, technically midnight. Is it midnight?
Yeah, so
Aye. So
yes,
technically Tuesday.
you'll get 7 days.
I'm making an ass of myself. I don't know why,
Yeah,
but
you cut off a bit there.
I know. But I think but then it's going to be interesting if we don't get a striker, what he's going to say, because he said he's put his cards on the table. He said to the board, "I want a striker." So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting. Now, Alistair, I've heard putting Maida through the middle.
I
No, for
don't like
me.
that. I don't
No,
like
for
that either.
no. I know he plays striker. Rodgers has mentioned a lot about him playing striker for Japan and whatever. He would do a job up top. But the big issue I've got with it is you've brought the big problem was Palmer, Yang weren't good enough. So we brought Jota in. But then if you put Maida up front, you're taking away from the wing end again. So we're back at square one.
Yeah.
So it's no for me. Maida does his best work for us out wide, pressing,
Yeah.
chasing
And
people down.
covering the left back as well.
Aye, and that's the thing. I'm not going to see if you put a ball in the box that and I want my strikers attacking it. He's not like
Yeah.
an either who he's tall. He can head the ball, but I want a player that's just a poacher in the box. Maybe he can link up the play. I don't think Maida could do that.
A Jack and Marcus Mark too.
Aye, pretty much. You want an ideal Rodgers striker like an Edward, Dembele, somebody who could run, and before you say I don't want them back, you know, somebody who's got a bit of pace about them, maybe a bit of technique, but he's just a poacher in the box, strength. That's the hallmark of a Rodgers striker. So that's what we need to do. Alistair, before we end off, I'm going to ask you, do you think we'll sign a striker, or do you not think we'll sign a striker?
I think we'll sign a striker, but don't ask me who it is.
I'm going to say the exact
I
same thing.
don't think the papers know. I don't think the media know. I don't
We know.
I don't think Celtic know. To be quite frank with you. And
I'm really surprised, man.
and I don't want to be negative Nancy's here, but it's staring you right in the face. How can you call this a successful window if you only end up with Jota?
And sell your star striker.
Yeah, I know that just doesn't make sense.
You know, and we've been monitoring Krivich Garden for over 3 years now. So when we gonna hit the button?
Pull the plug, I know.
Right. When are we either going to hit the button, or are we going to move on to new targets?
Do you want my honest opinion, Josh? This is the last chance. If we want Krivich Garden, we need to get him now.
Because he's made it clear to Bromley he wants to leave. In the summer, so you know we need to. We need a striker, and you know, the club better know what it is because that's their fucking job. That's their job, and you know the fact that I've not really get a lot of confidence. Now, I know we're going to have to be patient. And don't get people. We're really. I'm happy that Jota's come back. As we sat and spoke about Jota at the start of the video, but I do still just think there's other things that need to be addressed, and we'll obviously be happy with Jota. But I don't think what hit is that Jota's back until actually
a week today. If we're sitting with a striker, an agreement for Tierney, and we've already got Jota. So if we've got that three together, then we'll be buzzing out with tits.
To be fair, for me, it depends on what the striker is. If it's a panic bowler, a bit like, right, come on, you've had 6 months and you've just sat in your ass.
Can I be clear? Maybe I didn't make that clear. What I meant was a striker of standing, Joe. Somebody you can look at record, preferably others. I'm going to put my cards on the table here. I want a permanent. I don't want a loan. I really don't.
I think everybody's like that.
Obviously, if it's 10 to 12 and we're waiting and a striker, then I'll put up with a loan, but in an ideal world, I want a permanent.
And the coach
can get them ready for the playoff next season.
And the closer it gets to that deadline, you're going to look right, what's going on here? Because, you know, the fact that the papers on the reporting it, and obviously support that we're going to try and get in for Krivich Garden, which I think's encouraging. But there's no been any real reports apart from that guy from Newcastle in terms of a backup. So it kind of, I'm a bit like,
even that boy from Newcastle, it wasn't a reliable source.
Aye.
So I think that's just been, it's been. I don't honestly think that's going to happen, John. Because you said in another video, Newcastle bought him in the summer.
Aye.
So I'm not going to punt the guy within 6 months.
Aye.
Never, but I'd be very surprised.
To be fair, I guess it's got to be it's got to just need to be a patient thing now and see what happens, to be honest, because I genuinely don't really know at this point. So obviously Kyogo made his move to RENNES. Just obviously we already did kind of a video on it anyway, but I mean we have sold a massive part.
It doesn't feel real.
It doesn't feel real. You know, we've sold a massive part of the team, and He's a Celtic legend. I don't care what anybody says he's a legend at this club.
So I would say an icon.
I mean, he's a player of stature.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think he's been an absolute brilliant player, and obviously will go to France. I don't really get the move personally myself because I'm sitting in the relegation zone.
I don't get what's in it for him.
I think it's about the Japan Cup. I think personally, I think that's got a big.
Well, that's all it can be.
Aye, no, I know, but see, to be honest with you, he goes with our best wishes. He's done a fantastic job for us for 3.5 years. He came in to the squad when we were absolutely honking, and just kind of got the kind of Ange revolution underway. But it's, as I just said there, it's all about who Celtic replace and wait. And boy, they have got a tough job on their hands because they chose to sell the star striker with 15 days odds to go. And it's just been confirmed today. So realistically, they've got 8 days.
So, no, I'll end it like this, Josh. It's Matt O'Reilly. It's almost as if, right, we'll wait till we get the Kyogo money in, and then we'll go out and spend it. That's what it stinks of.
But I think the difference is with Matt O'Reilly, I think they had they knew the target that we're going for. I don't know if they know.
I think they know the target they want.
But
now,
they don't.
Josh, I do.
But
I don't know. I don't know. We'll probably need to do a need and spend over the odd ticket.
Exactly. So, but as I've always said, it's not coming at my pocket. The club's on it. It's not going to fucking put the club into liquidation, is it? So,
no.
So, but no, we'll probably just end it there. But just to end off, Jota's now a Celtic player for the second time in 18 months. Third time in 18 months, which is just fuck it. Honestly, can I get even? This has been the most wildest week in Celtic history.
Well, as I said earlier, with 2 out of the 3 record sales could be back in Celtic jerseys very, very soon. It's just madness, really.
I know exactly. But
always madness, but it's mad.
I know. But I will end it there. And we'll be back if there's any other news.
Out, Peter.
Aye. If there's any other news, hopefully we're back talking about a striker. But if there's any other news, we'll be back probably tomorrow with build up to that game in the Champions League when we head to Villa Park to face Aston Villa. Until then, speeches later, and hail.
Hail.